The Alexia Fall Workshop is a 4-day workshop that we hold every fall at Syracuse University from the Visual Communications Department. It was started in 1999 by the faculty of the Visuals Department and has been going every fall since. It used to be, when there were cameras with film and dark rooms, they would move to a community and set up there for the whole weekend, and then had the computers and everything. It's a lot easier now with electronics and Wi-Fi and all that sort of thing. We haven't been out in the community for a while, 5 or 6 years. We've been doing it on campus, and so it's been great to come back out into a community and to tell stories of the people that live there, because the students get a little bit used to being around one another and they tell each other's stories, but challenging them to get out and talk to people and tell stories in the community is really great. We chose Baldwinsville because of the upcoming anniversary of the Erie Canal and the lock here, but also because several of our professors, especially one in our department actually, grew up here. His grandfather actually used to own the Beeville Diner. So we had a lot of connections that we could sort of use at the beginning on our first venture back out into community. The community is absolutely key. Baldwinsville was so welcoming and so wonderful. We never got turned down about any of our questions that we were asking, and I think it's really important to choose a certain size of community so that it already has that feel within the community itself, that welcoming feel. And to come here was just great to get to know people and to see everything that's going on and really to tell some heartfelt stories too. It's just really amazing to see what people have going on in their lives and what they're willing to share. We have a small department, and so the students really get to know one another. They really work well together. They depend on each other. The professors are really experienced. Most come from the professional world, so they have a lot of experience with the kind of work that the students are doing themselves. Most of us have been photographers for major newspapers or that sort of thing. So we grew up in the system and we know what it's like to be young and learning this. And it really is wonderful to see when things work out and the students really kind of go from not really knowing anything to knowing what they're doing. It's very rewarding to teach at Newhouse. The students are amazing. They work hard and they just have such good hearts, I think it is. And they're willing to go beyond what you really need for the basis of something and just do their best. And it really does show. And it's so rewarding when you see the result like this show tonight.
My name is Chris Denton. I'm the building principal here at C.W. Baker High School, and I want to welcome you to tonight's presentation of the Syracuse University Newhouse Alexia Fall Workshop. When Dr. Barbie contacted me and said that we were going to have an opportunity to have students from Newhouse here telling the story of Baker High School and telling the story of the Baldwinsville community, I was super excited. I thought it was a tremendous opportunity for the school, and for our students, and really for the whole community. I can definitely say we spent some time on Monday with some of our professors, Bruce Strong and Paula Nelson, who you'll meet in just a minute, hanging up the pictures that you see out in the main hallway here outside the auditorium. And to be able to see the reaction of our students throughout this week while they were able to pass by these photographs, you truly got to see the power of that medium of photography in capturing moments of the life of these high school students here at Baker High School. We have a lot to be proud of here in this community, for sure, and it was just really a very special experience to be able to have students really from all around the country here with Newhouse and Syracuse University to see just how special this place is. So I want to introduce to all of you the Executive Director of the Alexia Fall Workshop, Paula Nelson, who will tell us a little bit more about the project. And again, we're super excited to have everybody here and enjoy the presentation. Paula, come on up.
Welcome to the community showing of Day in the Life of Baldwinsville. As Principal Denton said, I'm Paula Nelson, the we share our students' hard work, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about the workshop itself and the project this year. The workshop was founded in 1999 by the faculty of the Visual Communications Department at Newhouse and Syracuse University. 2 years ago, we changed the name to the Alexia Fall Workshop, which more closely connects the workshop to the Alexia Grant competition that takes place in the spring. The Alexia Grant supports professional and student visual storytellers that produce projects inspiring change. Sorry, I'm a little bit of that. The Alexia Grants and now the Alexia Fall Workshop are named in memory of Alexia Tsaris, a photojournalism major and one of the 35 students studying abroad who died in the terrorist bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland. The workshop itself takes place over 4 days each fall. This year it was October 17th through the 20th. And it's existed in a number of iterations, including holding the entire workshop in an off-campus community, and then holding the workshop completely on campus, and now a hybrid on campus and in a community. The program kicked off on Thursday night when the coaches and the student teams got to know one another. Friday was an all-day shoot right here in the community. Saturday, a production day and early evening presentations by some pretty impressive professional visual storytellers sponsored by Nikon. The workshop wrapped up on Sunday when we shared the stories in a video that you'll see in a minute and presented student awards. The workshop itself brings top visual professionals from around the world to join our professors as we push the students to identify, observe, and artfully communicate the core of who we are. 97 students, 13 faculty, and 21 visual professionals descended on Baldwinsville to tell visual stories of the community. They used still photography, video, audio, and words to further their craft of exceptional storytelling, engaging in the community and the world around them. This year, on that one day, Friday, October 18th, that world was the village of Baldwinsville. There were 10 teams of still photographers and videographers and our emerging photography team that was embedded for the day, as the principal said, right here in the high school. Some of their work is displayed in the hallway. I hope you'll take a look at that too. Just a few quick thank yous. Thank Principal Denton for making the embed possible, to all the students here who welcomed our students for the day. I'd also like to thank the people of this community who welcomed us warmly and wholeheartedly into their lives. We couldn't have done any of this without you. So let's take a look at the Day of the Life of Baldwinsville.
anytime you try to create something that is yours, you're putting yourself out in front of people sometimes. And so as an artist or as a visual communicator and journalist, it can be a little intimidating.
We're doing a day in the life of Baldwinsville, 24 hours, and we'll be out here all day.
It's always stressful, but it's always fulfilling. Photo has its own peculiarities and necessities.
I mean, the fall workshop is kind of crazy. I mean, trying to film and edit a video project in 2 days is very ambitious and is challenging in any setting.
At some point at 2 or 3 a.m., somebody cries.
I'm feeling good. I speak on behalf of our group, and actually, if I'm speaking on behalf of our group, we may not feel so great, but I feel good. It's like a big homecoming for people. You see coaches you've met in the past, people who coached you beforehand, and they give you honest advice. Huge kudos to anyone who's doing video, because could not be me. It stresses me out so much. It really does, but it is fun. It is fun.
It's been a great experience so far. Maybe ask me again at like midnight or 3 a.m. if I'm still having fun.
So our project is about teenage relevant martial arts. It's a dojo located in Baldwinsville, New York. It's just a story about how martial arts brings a greater community together, how people find self-improvement through learning new martial arts. I'm doing fall workshop because I'm taking GIS 301, but also because I want to increase the quality of my portfolio. I want to create meaningful content and learn some new skills.
Being able to work in a team and being able to rely on somebody to do their job, a lot is really learning how to come together and trust one another. People have roles, and within those roles, people expect you to do your job and execute, and I think that's something we are trying to teach and showcase here.
I think everyone had their coach reach out to them, and I think that's awesome, the fact that they've been with us every step of the way. They really do. It's not just with the problems, it's also for talking to people. It's such a big part of, for me, visual communications. You can't do this without other people.
The connections you make here with your fellow students and with the coaches, whether or not they're your coach, is probably the most valuable part of this.
Yes, we're delivering information, but more so, I believe, we're helping humans grow, right?
Some of our teams have 92 pages of interview transcripts, or a terabyte of footage that they've filmed. With video, there's a big process. It's a very time-consuming process in video, and it's a lot. It's a lot to pull down a story in a day, but we are getting there. We will get there.
But what's great to see is that because of that struggle, it's hard, right? But they work through it, and in the process of working through it, we see this transformation from where they didn't know to where they do know. And for them, they come away feeling like they've succeeded, they've climbed a mountain, and now they're standing on top.
That stone's going to be one of the only like permanent things reflecting the life you live. How do I want my life reflected?
I started out selling monuments and doing it I did everything. I was a one-person, operation. I love to be out in the cemetery. I go to different places every day. I work with my hands, and sometimes it gets dirty, but I do. I love my job. Luke's been in the business since he was little. He's taken us way over my ability to where I would have thought this business go.
There's kind of that pressure as I was 22 at the time. And that pressure where I felt like I was making big life decisions at such a young age. And so that was kind of intimidating at the time. Like, it's pretty cool, honestly. I love working with them.
We do our work if we need to do work. And we take one of our big trucks out and we set it in the cemeteries. I tell my customers a lot of times that if you want it done really good, or you want something, different, we'll have Luke do it.
He is extremely effortless in getting what he needs, getting the information out of people, but still being really compassionate. I think I have a closer relationship with my dad than probably most people get to have as adults because I see him almost every day.
It's a rarity that we don't talk, and I'm grateful for that.
Having that mentor that's also your dad it's kind of an interesting dynamic sometimes. He's more my mentor than like my father.
He is eons further than anything I would ever be able to do. My goal is to work for him someday. Everybody's different, so you never know who you're going to be meeting with, and you get to meet with a lot of different people.
It's kind of a scary legacy to live up to, because that is my plan, to own the business one day when he decides to step back. I want to continue the work and the relationships that he's built within the community.
I'm very excited for him. I think he's going to do better than I ever thought I would do.
You're guaranteed right now, and and that's it. You never know what's going to happen. So thinking about my dad, passing away is something I've kind of also thought about.
I would want Luke to be the one to make my memorial. I would definitely. There's no question.
It's kind of a sobering thought that he would have that faith in me to do his legacy. But yeah, I don't even want to think about it right now. I'm just kidding.
everything that they've done, everything that we have now is because of them. They paved the way. Everybody here had careers and families and purpose and meaning in life, and they still do. That's what Silver Fox promotes, that they still do. The first week I was here, I came out onto the floor and the members were playing bingo, and I was like, oh my God, you're playing bingo? I don't want to play bingo. I sat here for an hour instead of doing my job and playing bingo. And one lady said, no, that's your job. Everybody's job here is to play games and have fun and make sure the members are having fun. And I was like, that's it. This is my job. This is my place. This is my people. You know, there's a big saying that if you know one person with dementia, you know one person with dementia. Everybody is different. A lot of our members start when they're not so bad in their diagnosis, and they grow with us. We have our little group of our ladies that come Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and our group of guys that come Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and they form these friendships. You know, it starts with the stories and stuff like that, but then it goes beyond that into like friendships and stuff. But we don't treat them like numbers or anything like that. We treat them like human beings. We follow a very strict schedule, and that helps them learn what we're doing next. It helps ease anxiety of what we're doing next. So we had this member named Louise. She just actually passed away last week. She was amazing. Always smiling, always laughing. When it got to the point in her disease where she couldn't form full sentences, she could still sing. But I used to have staff fight over who got to take care of her. They loved her so much. You know, she was probably one of my most impact jobs. Last week before she passed away, she was at the Francis house for her hospice. And I went to go visit her. I walked into the room and she looked at me and she goes, "You." And she pointed at me and said, "You." It was the first word in 6 months. It's good to know everything that impact.
And probably the hardest part of this job
is losing the members. Probably the most common thing I hear is, I wish there was a place like this for my grandparents, or I wish I knew of this for my parents or my grandparents. You know, Silver Fox has been here since 2007. We were one of the very first social adult days in all of New York. We're not here just to get your money. We are a nonprofit. It's not about the money, it's about the people. This location specifically, Baldwinsville, is beautiful. We're right on the water. There's a lot of amenities right around us, so we can easily get things that we need on a short-term basis. That's our goal, is to keep them here as long as possible, to keep them in the community as long as possible, and keep them active as long as possible.
I've been doing CrossFit for almost 12 years. If you Google CrossFit, it usually shows some really high intensity movements, people upside down or they're flying through the air, and it becomes something that's very intimidating visually. But when they come in, we meet people where they're at. The most rewarding part of owning this business for me is the people. They're super hardworking. I love the fact that they're all ambitious.
I joined here about 2.5 years ago on a mission to kind of fix myself. I've been a sports town. I have a little boy that needs me to be a dad and playing and running and jumping, and I couldn't do that. And then I kind of walked in here and I was like, I can't do this either. But it's awesome. I love it.
As soon as I walked in the door, I think most of my concerns or negative impressions of CrossFit changed immediately. I want to be a mom that can sled tag and beat my kids at a sprint race for as long as possible and play on the playground. So just having the kind of fitness to be a super active mom is important to me.
I'm 65 years old, and I always say that I got into CrossFit luckily by chance. For me, it's the fountain of youth. I found that I was valued. My age was not a discriminatory for things. It was something that was promoted and valued, which was really important to me.
I find it most rewarding to have people come in and be a part of their lives and understanding what they're going through that day, and maybe I can help them just see it from a different perspective, that maybe some things aren't so bad, maybe some things are really amazing and they just need somebody to share it with, right? Because life isn't always a depressing thing. It's always, sometimes there's really a lot of excitement in life. I don't ever want it to feel like a burden or something that's on the back burner that I don't know if I really like this. So it's always about the customer service experience for me, making sure that people, are seen, are heard, and are respected.
you never know the reaction you're gonna get. You don't know what people are thinking. A lot of times you're like, oh, you do martial arts. It's like, oh, like, can you beat me up? And it's like, well, I don't know. Like that's a very loaded question. But also, that's not only what it's about. There's a saying that black belt is only a white belt who never stopped. And that goes for everything. It's like, if you never start, you're never gonna get anywhere. You have to push yourself to make sure you become the person that you're trying to become.
It really taught me discipline and work ethic from a really young age. I've been training for probably 12 years. I remember wondering where my future was. You know, like this was a very masculine sport. Black belts take years and years to get. Most of me thought I wasn't going to be able to go through with it, and I wasn't going to be able to achieve it. I say people around me, you know, the ones I keep close, would really push me, really, said, you can do it. And I believed them.
It's just constantly progressing and constantly knowing that there's not a perfect end state to things. It's like there's always progress to make, there's always something where you can put yourself more.
A few years ago, I was told that I had a degenerative nerve disease and that it would continue to affect my arms and legs and hands and feet to the point where I could eventually lose use of them. And then beginning of last year, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I felt like this is it. I'm going to be stuck in bed the rest of my life, and that's the memory that my kids are going to have of me. I was told by all of my doctors that exercise would be the most important thing for me to do, as well as probably the hardest. This is very much outside of my comfort zone. I never would have pictured myself doing any kind of martial arts. Breast cancer, it's not the end. It can be the starting point of something that you never thought and never expected.
It provides a loyalty not only to the people you're with, but a loyalty to yourself. You have to set these goals, and once you set these goals, you have to be loyal to them.
These people are why I come here every day. I walk through the door and I smile. The sense of community that we have here and the family that we've built, and everybody here has opened doors for me that I didn't think that would ever be opened.
One word that I definitely use to describe it is home. It feels safe. It is definitely second family.
I really like, it's fun hitting someone in the head sometimes.
what I see when I walk into Pizza Man. A very loyal community.
Everyone really deeply cares about each other and their well-being.
The town, wants to support local and wants to see the people that are here thrive.
My father, who's also James Delia, he started this business in 1983 with his partner. I worked with him up until about 7 years ago when I bought the business from him. It started out, as a basic traditional pizza shop concept. It was fun, pizza. You would see people come in smiling, getting their food. There was definitely a draw for me to be here. That's the best part of my job, just meeting people. And I've seen some just awesome interaction with families in Baldwinsville. Just over the 4 years, just getting to know people a long time ago and still seeing those people.
So we've been coming to Pizza Man since it opened. It's always been part of our lives.
Pizza Man has carved out this small hometown, homey restaurant, bar feel.
And at the end of the day, it's so good, right? You can be a great person in a great place and on TVs and all that. If your food isn't good, their food is so good. It's the best pizza, it's the best wings. It's so good.
Pizza Man has always been a part of my life. We've been coming here since, I can remember. The first slice of pizza that I had was from Pizza Man, and the first wings that I've ever had were from Pizza Man. My mouth's watering thinking about it, but the food here is just phenomenal.
When I started working here, the patrons were beyond welcoming. I think that Pizza Man, it embodies what the town is. Like, sometimes you're down, and when you're down, they're here to help pick you up. And that really means a lot in life when you're struggling with something that you can go into work and everybody's like, you're gonna have a good day today. On the weekends, we definitely do get busy. You will see all different types of groups. Everybody just interacts like we're all the same.
A lot of the other bars around the community don't like younger people coming in, but this is one of the rare bars in this area where you can come in at those age and feel comfortable, so I think that's something that's really important.
This is what this place means to not only our family, but up to our grandchildren, our children and our grandchildren. It's special. They love Baldwinsville, but they consider Baldwinsville pizza meat. And so they will draw things, they make little notes, come here. So one of the things that they love to do is they love to call and order the pizza. And so they actually had to write it out because it's a big deal when you get to reach a certain age that you can order the pizza. But if you say Beagle or Baldwinsville, it's somewhere to be so proud of, to be part of. And Pizza Man is synonymous with that.
All right, this concludes the presentation. We're going to turn the lights on real quick. And once again, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I mean, it's unbelievable to think that these are students from Syracuse University that put these stories together and told so many great stories about members of our Baldwinsville community. It was especially very cool, again, for our students here at Baker High School to have this experience. So I want to thank Dr. DeBarbary and the Board of Education for making this possible, for allowing this to take place, and for Syracuse and Newhouse to come visit us. And again, I really want to say a special thank you to Paula Nelson, the Executive Director of the Alexia Fall Workshop, and Bruce Strong, who worked very closely with the freshman students who are here at Baker High School. And it just really was a tremendous experience. So one more round of applause for Alexia Fall Workshop. And great job to all of you community members that took part and allowed Syracuse to take a look at your lives here in Baldwinsville. Please join us for refreshments out in the lobby outside the auditorium. Have a great night, and thank you very much for being here.